Live from your station for breaking news, this is CBS 21 News, live at 11.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 11. I'm Tanya Foster.
And I'm Rob Hanrahan. Let's go to our chief meteorologist, Tom Russell, standing by in the First Warning Weather Center. Tom, what's going on?
Well, we do have a heads up tonight. We now have a winter weather advisory for all the counties shaded here in blue, mainly for freezing rain. Now, this is rain that falls as liquid, but freezes upon contact. I'm not too worried about it because we're warm enough to keep it mainly just wet, but the winter weather advisory until 5 a.m. for all the counties shaded here in the blue. This is what we're picking up on First Warning Live radar. Remember, when you start to see that pink or purplish color, that's that changeover. So cold enough in portions of the atmosphere to maybe get a little bit of an ice thing, but mainly just wet, and especially on the roadways just wet. And here's why: still above freezing in most areas, 33s in Lebanon, Harrisburg, and Carlisle. So you have to be a little careful, but I'm not too concerned about any major icing overnight. Could have a leftover snow or rain shower early at 30 degrees. By noontime, we're all the way up to 36, and by the afternoon, a little bit of sunshine and 38. So it's going to continue to be a warm day tomorrow, but then more cold and more snow. It's all in your 7-day forecast coming up in minutes, guys.
And we begin tonight with breaking news out of Dauphin County. Police have captured the man wanted for shooting and killing a store clerk in Steelton.
We were the only station to bring you this news just minutes after it happened on CBS 21 News at 10 on the CW15. CBS 21's Ben Russell joins us live with the Dauphin County Mobile Newsroom in Steelton tonight. Ben, you interviewed the mayor live at 10. What can you tell us at this point?
I can tell you, Tanya, as you had said, this manhunt that involved both local police and U.S. Marshals is now over, as this wanted poster now showing the face of Kermit Pittman has now satisfied its purpose. He was taken into custody about 9:40 tonight. We're told he was not hiding out, but instead eating dinner inside of a McDonald's in Harrisburg. Again, this is 18-year-old Kermit Pittman, who we're told also went by the name of Kermit Crummel. He was wanted in connection for last Monday night's shooting death of Florentino Lopez. This shooting happened inside of Lopez's Gino's Mini Mart convenience store in Steelton. This is a photograph taken from surveillance video, allegedly showing Pittman with a gun in his hand and a mask on his face during this ordeal. The reported motive for this crime was an attempted robbery, although we're told this video shows Pittman allegedly walking into the store and simply opening fire. Dauphin County's coroner had said that Lopez died as a result of bleeding to death after being shot 5 times. And actually, I want to show you right now, if we come back live to us right now here, guys, this is Kermit Pittman being walked out of the Steelton Borough Police Department. He was being questioned again. He was taken into custody about 9:40 tonight. This is this young man who we're told, again, just over a week ago, opened fire and shot a store clerk, a store owner, just a few blocks away from where we are now, killing this man. Ultimately, again, as we were told, he bled to death as a result of this shooting. He was arrested again by Harrisburg police, who found him at a McDonald's in the Klein Village shopping plaza. He's being taken into the police car now. He will be taken out to Harrisburg Night Court, where he will have his preliminary arraignment and then no doubt taken to Dauphin County Prison. And earlier, as you had said, we spoke with Steelton's mayor, Thomas Acri, who spoke to us about this crime and said essentially that this is a sad story from top to bottom.
And now we have an 18-year-older who's getting ready to go to court, who's going to be arraigned, who's going to go in front of the judge, 18 years old for murder. I mean, what do we say, and how do we stop this kind of action that's going on in these communities? I don't know. I really wish we had an answer for that.
Again, they're hearing from Steelton Mayor Thomas Acri. We're looking now live at a Steelton police vehicle. In the back seat is this homicide suspect, 18-year-old Kermit Pittman. He was arrested just over an hour ago. He will now be taken for an arraignment and then taken to Dauphin County Prison. Again, you see breaking news here live tonight on CBS 21 News, live at 11. The charges he is facing are homicide as well as aggravated assault, wanton endangerment, as well as several other crimes. But again, this is happening now. This man taken into custody just over an hour ago. Live with the Dauphin County Mobile Newsroom in Steelton, Ben Russell, CBS 21 News.
All right, Ben, thank you. And of course, you saw live there Kermit Pittman being walked out of the jail there in Steelton. It's just, as the mayor said earlier, it's sad all the way around. And
I hope we can find out in the coming days who it was that spotted him in that restaurant. And this was the first homicide in Dauphin County this year. So the police were really looking for him.
Definitely a story we'll continue to stay on top of for you and bring you the latest as soon as we have it. Now to our continuing coverage of the inauguration of Tom Corbett. It has been a night full of food, fun, and entertainment for those celebrating our new governor.
CBS 21's Erica Moffett live in the middle of it all at the inaugural ball in Harrisburg, where the festivities are still going strong. And Erica, give us an idea of what tonight was like out there at the Farm Show Complex.
Well, I can tell you that tonight was a true celebration in every sense of the word for new Governor Tom Corbett and his more than 4,000 guests.
But no, we came into this with a great strategy, and it's been working out so far.
The JDK Company and their 258 staff members whipped this section of the Farm Show Complex into tip-top shape for the inaugural ball.
That's fantastic. This is amazing, isn't it?
The big band music got the crowd going, and the food, with its All Things Pennsylvania theme, was irresistible.
Oh, we're fire roasting all our meats.
We have two types of pot pie. We have some made with venison, some made with chicken.
While there was some definite glitz and glam, event organizers say they aim to create a laid-back atmosphere.
The way we've set it up and the way the Corbetts really wanted it to be was that people came in here and they felt comfortable.
That comfort came complete with couches surrounding the dance floor. But while the night was focused on the fun, guests weren't hesitant to share some of their more serious hopes for this new administration.
I know we have a lot of natural resources, and I hope that they will use them wisely.
There's a lot of money due for pensions, and there's a big deficit there. I just hope we can get things under control.
Now you saw and heard about some of that mouth-watering food that's been served here tonight. Of course, there is going to be some extra, but don't worry, it's not going to go to waste. I'm told that local food pantries and homeless shelters will be the recipients of those leftovers. Now, right now, the band did just take a break. You've got some recorded music going on for the time being. They're going to come back on the stage to entertain for a little bit longer, and tonight's inaugural ball will wrap up at midnight. We're live at the Dauphin County Mobile Newsroom in Harrisburg. Erica Moffett, CBS 21 News.
All right, Erica, thank you. And CBS 21 was there for all of today's events for Tom Corbett's inauguration. The day started out with a mass at St. Patrick Cathedral on State Street in Harrisburg. After that, it was time for Lieutenant Governor Jim Cawley to take the oath of office. Then Tom Corbett began his swearing in outside with his hand on the Bible, once owned by William Penn. It was held by his wife, Susan. Following the ceremony, the governor got right to work, making a stop at the Boys and Girls Club. His wife's big cause is helping at-risk kids. This man here, Bill Ryan Jr., will hold the position of Attorney General for the state of Pennsylvania until Governor Corbett announces a permanent replacement. Ryan has worked in the AG's office for more than a decade. Whoever the governor appoints must receive a 2/3 vote in the Senate before it is official.
Well, Harrisburg has an official 2011 budget tonight, but without Mayor Linda Thompson's approval. When she wanted to reject the budget, she had two options: either make changes with the city council that had a veto override majority, or just do nothing and let it pass automatically, and that's what happened. In a statement today, the mayor said, "I firmly believe that the 2011 budget ordinance as amended by Harrisburg City Council will endanger the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of the capital city, and therefore I could not sign it as is." The mayor says the budget, as handed to her, doesn't pay for contracted salary and benefits for the city's firefighters, and she also says it will not pay for all police training.
New at 11 tonight, the Washington Post is reporting this hour that the entire Arizona shooting was caught on surveillance cameras and clearly shows each and every murder. According to the Post, Safeway store parking lot cameras show Jared Loughner shooting Representative Gabrielle Giffords in the forehead from about 2 feet away. Loughner then turns and starts shooting at people seated in chairs. In all, 6 people were killed, 13 wounded. The FBI now has over 24 surveillance videos from both inside and outside of the store. They say they are not releasing this footage. A breaking news update for you tonight to a story that we brought to you as breaking news at 5. Police are calling a shooting at a Southern California school an accident. Officers say a gun in a student's backpack went off when he dropped the bag. A bullet wounded 2 students. One is in critical condition tonight.
It's just really unfortunate because the majority of our kids, I was telling you, they're amazing kids, and it's a very small percentage that unfortunately set the stereotype for our school. And I can guarantee you the majority of these kids are like, WTF, like what is going on our campus right now?
The teen who brought the gun to school apologized before running to another classroom. Police later found that student and arrested him.
Big story following around the world. More trouble for Pakistan tonight after a powerful earthquake struck the southern part of the country this evening. A 7.4 quake hit near the border of Afghanistan. Officials say several provinces in the country felt the earthquake. No reports of initial damage as of yet. Back in 2005, a 7.6 magnitude quake hit northwestern Pakistan. That killed about 80,000 people.
Well, if you're just about to head to bed and plan to snuggle up with your pet, you'll definitely want to hear this next report. Coming up, CBS 21's Ben Russell takes a look into a new study by the Centers for Disease Control. They say sleeping with your pet could make you sick. What we found out coming up next.
And he's accused of killing and torturing thousands. Now the former ruler of Haiti is answering to those accusations in court. We'll have that story for you next. Tom?
And weather-wise, a little bit messy still overnight, but then we're watching more snow later this week. Got details on all that with their 7-day forecast coming up.
And your winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers tonight: the Daily 259, the Big 4 8970, Quinto 69452, and the Cash 5 8 24 28 29 and 39.
You're watching CBS 21 News live at 11 with Rob Hanrahan, Tanya Foster, Chief Meteorologist Tom Russell with First Warning Weather, and Sports with Jason Bristow.
Well, in many homes, our pets are considered part of the family. But this report that's set to be published by the Centers for Disease Control Medical Journal next month, it shows that getting just too close to our pets could be hazardous to our health.
Yeah, we treat them like people in our houses.
Of course, yeah.
We're talking about hazards like staph infection, meningitis, even the bubonic plague that can be passed from your pet onto you. So we ask, how big of a risk do you have? And we sent CBS 21's Ben Russell to get the answers.
This is my buddy Quincy. Quincy's a Dogo Argentino. He's an Argentinian Mastiff. He's just a big, gentle giant.
We love our animals. Why else would we battle the frigid cold of a January night? Or dress them for the season?
She's wearing a petite sweater, I think, from the thrift shops. There's a certain size that fits her, and she seems to enjoy it.
And it's safe to say they show their affection.
Unconditional love. You come home, there he is, and he's, you know, he just wants you. He goes to work with me occasionally. You know, he's a buddy. He sleeps in my bed. Do I have to say anything more?
This man's not alone. More than half of dog owners say their dog sleeps next to them. And that's among the scenarios that the CDC's new study reports could lead to animals unwittingly transferring the bacteria, parasites, and viruses they pick up.
Probably if you stay pretty healthy, it's probably not that much of an issue. So it doesn't really concern me that much. Okay. But then again, she's not licking me in the face that often either, so I'm not too concerned about it.
Although this article relates some rare but real transmissions of infections from pets to pet owners through bed sharing and licking, we're told that the man in the piece there, that we shouldn't worry so much about it because healthy people and with hygienic and healthy pets need not to be that concerned about it. Nevertheless, the report is coming out from the CDC.
Big sigh of relief,
Yes.
maybe, right?
Yep.
Well, there's always a chance for everything, but we love our pets. Well, this is interesting here. The man who notified the world that Japan attacked Pearl Harbor back in 1941 has died. Ed Klapowski worked on the submarine base the morning of the attack when he looked out the window and he saw the Japanese planes flying in. Klapowski passed away at his home in Montana at the age of 88 after being diagnosed with cancer. Family and friends are mourning the death of Robert Sargent Shriver. The former Peace Corps director and vice presidential nominee was in critical condition at a Maryland hospital just yesterday. Shriver suffered from Alzheimer's disease since 2003. He was 95 years old. He was married to JFK's sister, Eunice Kennedy Shriver, who died in 2009.
Heavily armed police escorted one of Haiti's most notorious rulers into court today. Jean-Claude Duvalier spent much of the day answering questions in a Port-au-Prince courthouse. Duvalier, also known as Baby Doc, is accused of corruption, theft, and other alleged crimes committed during his 15-year rule. He also succeeded his father 40 years ago, allegedly killing and torturing thousands of opponents. Human rights organizations called for his arrest.
During his time, executions, disappearances, and systematic torture was just the mark of his regime.
Duvalier is awaiting the judge's decision on whether the case against him will go forward. Vice President Joe Biden welcomed China's president into the U.S. today. President Hu Jintao arrived at Andrews Air Force Base in Maryland. Hu comes to the U.S. amid tension between two world powers over economic, trade, and security issues. He is meeting with President Obama at a dinner tonight. Hu will be in the United States for 3 days.
It's getting messy outside, pretty cold out, but now some precipitation moving in.
Yeah, that snow today wasn't much but heavy. I think the heaviest snow we've seen. Our chief meteorologist Tom Russell along with your first warning forecast after the break.
And tonight's PARewards.com keyword is agenda. Type it in for 5 points. And if you're not a member of PARewards.com, join today to enter exclusive contests and earn points towards some exciting merchandise.
You're watching CBS 21 News, live at 11. Winner of the 2010 Emmy Award for Best Newscast. And now, CBS 21 News First Warning Weather with Chief Meteorologist Tom Russell.
And some messy stuff moving in.
Yeah, it's mainly just wet, and the good news is most areas are at or above freezing. So even if you get down to 28, 29, as long as the roads are traveled, you really don't get much in the way of ice. But I want to start you out with a little bit of look ahead here as we take you to already talking about the game, and we're proud to have it here on CBS 21. We're talking about the Steelers and Jets this Sunday, 6:30. So what's in store weather-wise, Rob? Check it out. We're going to keep it dry this weekend, so it's just going to be cold. Game time kickoff temperature 24. And then dipping down to around 20, maybe into the upper teens. But again, that's Sunday night, 6:30 right here on CBS 21. Let's get to the right now kind of stuff, and this is what's showing up on First Warning Live radar. It's been interesting to watch tonight. Remember, on our radar, green is the rain, that pink or purplish color, that's when you get a bit of a changeover, and then you see the blue, that's actually snowfall. So a little bit of a wintry mix here. I'll put it in motion moving from west to east, just about right across our area. So we do have some light rainfall in Harrisburg. So most areas will just remain wet, but I want to show you a couple of spots that we're watching. Notice the blue there from Biglerville down through Gettysburg and portions of Adams County. Then you get that little bit of a mix, and then just plain rain here along the 81 corridor, along the turnpike as well. But even that rain could cause some slick conditions, especially if you got a little bit of ice or snow nearby as well. So it's still a little bit messy, but for the most part, not really concerned about anything major overnight, but it will keep things a little bit wet and a little bit slick. And here's why we're not worried about ice. 34 in Reading, 34 in Lebanon, a bunch of 33s in Harrisburg, Carlisle, Lancaster, 30 in Chambersburg, 30 in Lewistown. But again, even at 30, as long as the roads are traveled, they're not going to freeze or anything like that, especially with some stuff laid down on the roadway. 30 in State College, 32 in Altoona. It's been real warm out to our west. You see 37 in Pittsburgh, 41 in Morgantown. This is that wave of showers that's moving through. This will mainly be the overnight hours, maybe early tomorrow morning, and then that's out of here. So that will be around a little bit in the early morning hours for your commute. But notice again how warm we are, 45 in Charleston, 41 in Roanoke. This is a cold front. That's what's moving through tonight. And then we've got another round of snow to watch. So let's walk you through it here hour by hour. Here's that wave of rain showers overnight, maybe leftover snow or a rain shower early tomorrow. But other than that, we're going to kind of clear things out through the afternoon. Then I got to take you way out into the Midwest. Why? That's where our next snow system comes from. Now we're Wednesday at 10 o'clock. We're way out in the nation's heartland. Then we're going to track this for about a day and a half as it works its way toward us. No problems here Thursday through most of the day, but by Thursday night, that snow is starting to knock on the door, and that's going to mean some snow overnight Thursday into Friday, and that will lay down a couple of inches. So rain showers overnight will take it down to 30 for the overnight low. Leftover snow shower maybe early tomorrow. Not worried about any accumulations or anything like that. Warm day tomorrow too, 38 for the high. Fairly quiet on Thursday with increasing clouds, the high 30, and then overnight Thursday into Friday, our next snowstorm looks generally about a 3 to 4 inch snowfall through that first part of Friday, and then it's cold from there. 29 on Friday, that's not too bad because by Saturday, the high temperature only 23 degrees. Overnight lows down into the single digits. Sunday, sunshine, but the high only 27. Going to be a cold weekend. Monday, sunshine and 32. Another wintry mix coming on Tuesday. It looks like Mother Nature has opened up the winter faucets, if you will, and now it seems like some precipitation just about everywhere. Yeah, 9 is cold.
Well, we have to worry about wind chill with that 9 degrees.
Right now, it doesn't look windy, but boy, it wouldn't take much to cause...
It doesn't matter. Once it's down to 9.
That's true. You're already frozen.
Cold.
All right, Tom, thanks.
He trash-talked Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, and now the Jets head coach is complimenting the Steelers.
Yeah, quite
really,
a different...
Who wouldn't compliment?
Of course, right? Yeah, but a different approach as they prepare for the AFC Championship game. Big game
Yeah, believe it or not, Coach Mike Tomlin is saying he's actually a lot like Rex Ryan, the big talker, loud guy. Well, coming up in sports, I'll explain why the Steelers and the Jets may be mirror images of one another just ahead.
And now, CBS 21 Sports with Chris Fisher.
It's been psychological warfare for the Jets on their playoff path, but that may not work on the Steelers, especially if they take on the personality of their head coach, Mike Tomlin, who couldn't seem more opposite than Jets mouthpiece Rex Ryan. Although Tomlin contests he and Ryan are pretty similar when it comes to tactics, that is. Both like to run the ball, and New York likes to give it to their two big backs, LaDainian Tomlinson and Sean Green, who back in Week 15 in the Jets' win over Pittsburgh ran 23 times between the two for just over 80 yards.
That is their personality. They like to run the football. They're very good at smashing the run or stopping the run. That's probably his mindset and how he approaches the game of football, and that's a philosophy to have an appreciation for.
Steelers will walk into Heinz Field Sunday, 3.5-point favorites, and go for their third trip to the Super Bowl in the last 6 years. Now you can catch all the action of the AFC Championship game right here on CBS 21 at 6 o'clock Sunday. Well, a day after John Harbaugh said his coaching staff would stay intact, of course, it undergoes a facelift. Defensive coordinator Greg Mattison is leaving after his second year, taking over in the same capacity at the University of Michigan. Secondary coach Chuck Pagano has been promoted to the role. Talking a little hockey, same game with a new format. The January 30th NHL All-Star Game will feature the Hurricanes' Eric Staal as one captain and the Red Wings' Nicholas Lidstrom as the other. The unique twist to all this, they will get to pick their teammates 2 days before the game from the fans' vote-ins. Now, the Penguins' Sidney Crosby is still on the possibility list. Today, he says it's a strong possibility he'll play in the game. Philly and the Flyers taking on the Caps, only 1 point away from taking over the league lead in points over Vancouver. Alexander Ovechkin goalless in 5 games. Jeff Carter will give the Flyers the lead 1-0, and then Claude Giroux makes it 2-0. In the third, Mike Knuble will make it 2-1. Less than a minute later, Ovi on the back door gets it and finally puts one in the net. His 16th goal of the year, knotting it up at 2. To OT we go. Matt Carl getting nifty with the puck, drops it back for Andreas Mazzaros, and he lights the lamp for the game winner. 3-2, Flyers win it, picking up 65 points, the most in the NHL. Talking high school hoops, Cedar Cliff in first in the Keystone Division of the Mid-Penn, hosting Lower Dolphin. Second half, CC's Tim Kelly on the rebound and the putback. Game high 18 Colts on top by a deuce. Lower Dolphin, though, countering. Eric Gentry down the lane for the hoop and the harm. Game all knotted up, still in the second quarter. This is Noel Aru with a strong move off the glass and the foul. The three-point play, 33-23 at the break, 65-35. CC wins it. On the ladies' side, Palmyra paying a visit to neighboring Hershey, picking up in the first quarter. Hershey's Bridget Kilgallen taking a baseline, putting it up, and gets the shooter's roll. She had 10 points. Trojans led by 3. In the second quarter, Palmyra off the inbounds. Carly Richardson putting it up and in. She had a team-high 17. Panthers within 1. But Kendall Bonavie stole the show with 30 points on the night. Hershey wins it 54-45. Lancaster native Floyd Landis got tired of spinning his wheels and going nowhere fast. The embroiled cyclist was stripped of his 2006 Tour de France title after testing positive for synthetic testosterone. Now, Landis later admitted using performance-enhancing drugs and made accusations at 7-time Tour winner Lance Armstrong. Landis told ESPN, "I don't want to come across that I'm quitting because, well, they'd be bitter at me." Well, this guy has just caused nothing but problems since he's really gotten out of the racing circuit, making all these accusations. So I'm sure cycling and U.S. Postal Touring is ready to say bye-bye for him.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised.
Not at all.
Not at this point.
All right, Chris, thank you.
We'll be right back. Got some rain out there, Tom. Is there any danger with the overpasses?
You know, a little bit. You got to be aware, any kind of situation like this with ice, but for the most part, temperatures are at or above freezing. So we do have a winter weather advisory in effect until 5 a.m. for the main freezing rain being the main concern there. So as we head through the overnight, watch out for some rain showers. What we're picking up on First Warning Live radar. So still a little wet when you wake up tomorrow morning, and then drying out through the day.
All right, thank you, Tom. And that's it for CBS 21 News, live at 11. Thanks so much for watching.
The Late Show with David Letterman is coming up next. We will see you back here tomorrow. Have a wonderful night.
Let us know your opinion of CBS 21 News. Call 525-6360 or email us at mythoughts@cbs21.com.